But before I get into it, now I need to address the, what are they called? Tsibipians. Okay. So when I go out and say,
address this.
Balmain is a dope joint, you know what these niggas say to me?
What they say?
They say Def Jam is paying me.
How?
Now, when I say Nasty C's album is better than Casper's album, they say I'm a hater.
Which one is it?
So now what the fuck must I do?
Which one is it?
You know?
Okay, never mind. It's crazy that the answers nobody had I found when searching for myself. Let's toast to victory. Pick up your glass, show me love for once.
Welcome to Choppin It with Bhuda T. I am the Lord of the entire, the Lord of the every, the Lord of absolutely everything entirely, the Lord of the fit, Lord of the drip, Lord of the mommies, the light-skinned baby, Lord of the light-skinned baby daddies. Shout out my nigga French, you in the cut for the culture. The Lord of hit the streets and make them cry over the weekend. I had a fire weekend in the streets. Lord of the entire kind that encapsulates everything there, aka Himity, the boy shade game is the verdict. Don't ever get it twisted. Culture chat. We are in the building. Woo! With, of course, our compadre, French Fry.
Yeah.
Do we clap for Frenchie?
The new wave Lame Deva.
The new wave
Lame Deva.
The new wave from Deva.
The new wave Lame Deva, dog.
Oh, the new wave Lame Deva. Okay, I can fuck with that.
Who's that?
I can fuck with it. That's him. That's what he's saying.
Who's Lame Deva?
It's him. He's a lame Deva. And today we have our visible ghost lady, our much anticipated also.
Yeah.
And you said you're camera shy, and we got you on camera, Uber Eats.
Shout out.
So
Make some fucking noise.
This is like a whole lot of peer pressure from niggas, guys. Me sitting here, keep peer pressure.
Thank you for succumbing to the pressure.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna give us a validity of sorts, no?
Okay.
I think they hear you in the streets when you talk out there in the Twitter streets out there. It's no longer Twitter, no?
X.
When are we gonna call it that? We can't call it that. It's lame, that name. How did you get the Uber Eats name? I've always wanted to ask.
Yo, so this is like a very weird and complicated story, but basically, like, I was in varsity in the Free State, and you know, I'm a Abelungu, guys, so they pretended not to know how to pronounce my name, like Itumeleng.
Oh.
So I would say eat, Tumeleng, like as in eat.
Oh.
And because I kept saying that, like, my friends, when we would go out, they started calling me Eats. You know, when you're friends, you give each other a nickname.
Oh, yeah.
So I started getting that Eats name. And I wanted to change my username on Twitter. Like, I had a whole phase in my life where I was just changing my username. So because I actually, like, I fuck with the app a lot. And around that time, I used to order almost every day. And I just decided to be Uber Eats.
You fuck with the app a lot.
A lot.
With Uber Eats, the Eats
actual app. And hence why, like, I actually want to, like, I want to change from Uber Eats to just Eats, because I feel like I'm not trying to be sued. Like, I'm a real nigga. I don't have a lawyer, so I'm not trying to get sued and all of that, because now that Uber Eats name is being attached to something else, but there's already a brand. You know? Yeah.
And your handle on Twitter, you have already changed.
I've already changed it, yeah. And I tried on Instagram, but there's some person who has it already. Like, she's Chinese. I don't know what's her problem.
Yeah, we're going to reach out. Chinese lady, we need that handle. And I guess for anybody who may not be clued up on why we would have you to come voice yourself on the culture here, just give us a short rundown, if it is short, of your positioning in the culture and what it is you do.
Okay. So honestly, I think for me, this is a shocking experience. I never thought that like one day, like Zinga would say, "Hey, Wena, come through," you know. I grew up listening and watching you guys, Bo, Cash Time, Fam, you, AB Crazy, Kid X coming up, the three of you guys.
Fire.
So I think the thing that could explain what's going on right now is I don't know. Like I just logged in on Twitter one day and decided to do an account and just talk about hip hop. Like I've always been a hip hop lover. My mom is also a hip hop lover. She put me on to Tupac and Biggie and all of them.
That's fire.
So I used to speak a lot about international songs, artists, but then slowly around, I think it was like 2014 when there was Kara Kara and all, all that noise.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot.
The peak of
The peak.
SA
And I
hip-hop.
think I got sucked in a little bit there. Then I started speaking a lot about that music. So at the time I was young, I wasn't quite sure what I'm doing. I would just log on and be like, okay, this song is nice.
Yeah.
You guys should listen to the song. And that's how it's been. Like, so over the years, then I met French. We met on Twitter also because he was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And we just kind of all like formed a little community of people just like expressing their love for South African hip hop music and certain songs that we like. So we put each other on before we even get on Twitter and say, hey guys, this song is good and you guys don't even know who that person is. We send it to one another like, hey guys, what do you think? What do you think? You know? And even in our little communications, we critique. Like we just fell into that thing of like, nah, this one is good, but it's missing something, you know? And yeah, man, I think I could say my big break came from Sihle On. So shout out to Sihle On if he sees this. Sihle has no idea what he did for me because I feel like for a while there was some little gatekeeping going on with me. You know,
okay.
There was just it could still be happening, but I'm at a point where I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care if you're gonna put me in your spaces or not. You're gonna find me there.
Yeah.
You're gonna find me there, you know? And so with that little gatekeeping, like he reached out to me saying that Hype Magazine is looking for a writer and a music curator. And I was already doing like little playlists, like when people say, no, SA hip hop, this, that, I would send them playlists like, listen to this, listen to that. So with that opportunity with Hype, it actually allowed me access into the spaces that a lot of people don't want me in, that I believe like they don't want me there.
Now you have your own credentials.
I have my own credentials. And I think Hype is a very big brand. Like in as much as people are saying it's dying or it's dead, Hype really does a lot for artists.
Brand.
Yeah, like it really does a lot for artists because if you go and you look at other publications, it's a whole lot of like mixed masala. You understand? There's hip hop, there's pop, there's R&B. You find a little bit of everything. But with Hype, they've managed to keep their brand strictly hip hop as much as possible, with a little bit here and there R&B and putting in, you know, the drums and the pianos. But yeah, I think it's a very solid brand for putting a lot of artists out there, especially within hip hop. But yeah, I think since then, things have just been happening. Like, I'm not gonna lie. DMs from Zinga, please come. Hi, bo. Like, I was actually I looked at it. Like, I literally.
Make it official. Let's make you official.
Like, I literally looked at it. I was like, this is really happening.
Let's go.
Yeah,
so. It was the same thing for me with Frenchie. It was just like how the kid is on here, he's doing it. Like, all right, let's just go do it. Like, there's no reason to overthink it. Frenchie, how are you doing there, sir?
Yeah, I'm nice, though.
Welcome to the show.
And we did
his first space.
Your first space, it was us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was us. Yeah, it was really dope. But I think
did my first
on that
space
day I was going
also.
off at the blogs.
Yeah, and I think what I could So I think what I could classify myself, maybe that's quite important, is that I am a writer by profession. I'm a music writer, so I specialize in like music, events, and I'm also a playlist curator, a music curator. I put together playlists. And yeah, man, street A&R, that's what people call me.
Street A&R, that's fine.
And yeah, and with the stuff I do on Twitter, it's more like commentary on music,
Mm.
on artists, mostly their careers. I don't give a damn about personal stuff. Like I'm just focused on your music career and that trajectory of the artist, the brand. Yeah.
And she put people onto like a lot of niggas, dog.
Mm.
Tato Soul. A lot of niggas wouldn't have known about Tato Soul
Yeah, I saw you guys
if it wasn't for.
claiming
It's facts.
people's careers there this week.
No,
you know,
it's-
but like I didn't want to bring up a name, ne? Like I didn't want to bring up names and stuff like that because I think it's very sensitive. Like rappers are very sensitive about that, you know.
Very.
They have this I did it on my own mindset, whereas they don't realize that there's actually a lot of
crazy.
people in the background who are rooting for you.
Yeah.
Like they don't know you, but they're telling their friends, "Yo, do you know this nigga? Listen to this nigga," you know. So I'm not necessarily gonna sit here and claim people, but then there's people who tag me on things and say I wouldn't have known this person if it wasn't for you.
and that's
Or
facts.
like even on people's YouTube comments, like Uber Eats made me come here. You know, when I started
That's
seeing things like that, I was like, okay, maybe lento lena eba itle mayo. It's there's some because
Maybe
I
there's
don't want.
something there.
I'm not gonna lie. Can I swear on this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel
So
at home. Feel at home.
so I'm not really fond of like sucking my own dick, right?
Talk that shit.
Sad
I'm
kid.
not really fond of it. So when I saw people saying that, that's when I was like, oh, okay, this is what's going on.
Mm.
But the crazy thing is that like a lot of times people don't drop or before they drop, they send me a lot of their music also.
Mm.
And then some of them are like, please retweet, please like this, please say something about my music, blah, 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 blah. And I've had people actually come fight me to use me so that people can go and listen to their music. You understand?
Mm.
Like there's a lot
For
of
the traction.
for the traction. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of weird stuff going on also with that.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, the Twitter world. You see,
But-
living in a Twitter world, this is what it
But
comes with.
Bhuda, bro, like
Yes, sir.
we're not saying that we made these niggas. Rappers are fucked up. Nobody said we made you. Fuck that sensitivity bullshit. What we saying is,
Why
yeah,
is he fighting this guy now?
because dog,
Who
it
are you
must be
fighting
said.
now? You fighting me?
No, not you. You here with us on the chop. I'm just like
Yeah.
putting it out there. Like nobody said we made you.
Mm.
You know, we're not God, right? You
Mm.
put in your work. You did your shit in the studio.
Yeah.
But at some point, a certain group of people spoke about it, introduced whatever your product was in certain spaces, no matter how big or small,
Yeah.
and it did something. You understand? Like, that's just how this game works, bro.
And you guys
No
just
matter
want
how
y'all
fucking
dap.
talented you are. And that's just how the
You
fuck
guys
it
just want
happened.
y'all respect.
I'm not even saying we want it, right?
Deserve it.
Not even deserve. I'm just putting it out there, like whether you give it or you don't give it, at a certain point in the
Okusalayo.
game, if niggas were quiet, because niggas are forgetting that we actually went through some shit called COVID.
Mm.
People were worried about settling their bills, not listening to some niggas fucking music.
Mm.
You know, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But during that time, there were people dedicated, dog, to just keeping this fucking genre alive on Twitter.
Just on Twitter.
Just
yeah,
out of
just
love
on
and
Twitter.
passion, dog.
Yeah.
No one
Mm.
asked us to do it, and we didn't even want anything back.
Mm.
So the crazy shit is you get to a certain level as an artist, rapper, whatever. And when I'm saying certain level, I mean you're getting booked. Nyana. You understand?
Mm.
And you're really shitting on journalists?
Respect.
Nah, dog.
Why are you,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, now and they're getting booked.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like
But
you
yeah,
know?
man, like
Ah,
with me,
bruh.
like when I would interview artists and I always ask them about COVID, like how was it for you? What did you go through and all of that? Like
Yeah.
a lot of them do mention that COVID was just a not so nice time, especially for hip hop, you know.
Hmm.
And they were getting clowned like online and offline. And like for some of them, just seeing that there's a group of people at least tuning in, like there's a group of people like breaking down my work. Like there's a group of people who are actually invested, irrespective of the climate of music changing. For some of them, they did see it, you know, but I don't know like what happens when people get famous, which is I think it's part of the reason why I don't like cameras. But there's just something, like I've seen a
comes
lot of
with-
people come and be famous. Like I watch them, and just the way the personalities change, the way they treat people changes. Like yo, it's just weird. Like I could be sitting with you right now, Zinga, and we're having a great time before you blow up. You blow up, and then kusasa ngihlangana nawe esumo. I'm like, oh my nigga, and then you angtopa. Like stuff like that.
Just with the slides. Oh,
Yeah, and then you're just like, okay, what is this? You know?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen it. I know it. That's what it is. That's what this game is. But okay, voices of the youth. We are happy to have you guys here. Let's do some culture chopping.
Cool.
Uber Eats is here, bro. Beans. Thank you. Oh, in fact, Eats is here. Yeah.
Please.
It's officially Eats, eh? Yeah, because Uber is.
I ain't trying to
Otherwise, they
get
must
sued.
pay us. They'll deliver every show. Culturally, I'll speak on firstly the Foka show. Impeccable work, Foka. Impeccable work from me. Firstly, I saw the snap of when they opened the gates at the thing. I have not seen that type of frenzy at anybody else's show. Did you guys see those snaps? Where people are like actually waiting at the gate, and when it opens, they're running inside to be the first ones at the show.
I didn't see
And
that.
I've been to a lot of shows, so I've never seen.
When I saw the snap, I was like, hey, Bofoka's got the streets on fire like this. And then apparently the gates closed at what, 5? You said 5? 5 p.m., ne? The gates were closed, the show was full. And they opened at what, 10? 10 a.m., opened the gates, closed at, probably opened at 12 even. Closed at 5, was already packed, 15,000. Damn, Foka, wow!
That's lit.
So it means that he can fill up a stadium if he wants. Or was that a stadium?
The botanical, I mean, those are stadium numbers.
Yeah,
it wasn't a stadium, but those are stadium numbers.
I think he should aim for that for my next year, do a fill up.
Probably, but I actually liked the botanical garden thing, especially as him as a Pitori president.
Yeah.
I think the location was perfect for the show he's creating. And when he posted about the show after the show, it seemed like he's already got the date for next year. It's like 14 September or something. For next year, Foka is, so that's another thing that I got to see. Got to see in a nice and close space is Foka's businessman level is up.
Yeah.
Like, it's up. He is super locked in.
Yeah, I think he also has like a pretty solid team.
Yeah, but he put that team together.
Yeah, but like the team is quite solid. I mean, if you had to think about it, every single artist that's a powerhouse right now has a whole team.
Yeah.
You know, even if they put it together, but now a team is pulling a lot of weight.
No, what I'm saying is the ability to put your team together is what...
That vision.
That is, you have to get commended for that. Because a lot of people have the talent, have the vision, but are unable to be able to find trusted people who are going to be able to, execute the job and to put them in what is it called? Delegate. My employer, this is what you do, ne? To delegate, because I'm looking at everything, how it was put together. I was like, wow, this was set up so well. And then, of course, then the most important part, which I had to go to the front and go see clean view of, was the actual performance. Because I got there probably 30 minutes, 40 minutes before Foka actually hopped on. So I'm right on time. Because I'm not here for...
For them other...
I'm here to see Foka's show. That's why I'm here. I'm here to see his show. If I want to go to a Yano show, I can go to any other show.
Yeah.
He was so well rehearsed that I respected that as well. So the ability to see him perform at, for me, a level business-wise at a 10 out of 10, and then to also get on stage and perform at a 10 out of 10 was the most impressive thing I have seen in a while.
Mm.
And then to be in that space with 15,000 people, crazy.
Shout out to Foka.
Super crazy. So
God
shout out to
damn.
Foka for his show. I saw
And
you
I
guys
think-
on Twitter hating about the one-man show there on Pubby's
Hating.
post. Why do people always... But tell us what you think. We'll get there.
But Hung, why are you saying you saw
No,
us?
I'm saying Twitter.
Oh, hey,
You
bro.
guys are the faces of Twitter.
Hell
Here
nah.
on the Culture
No.
Chart.
Hell
There's-
nah. What?
We're
You
not
guys-
responsible for other people's views.
So what are you
Yes,
saying
yes.
about the one-man show? Like, I'm not getting it. Like, what are
No,
they
I
hating
saw
on?
when Pubby posted a clip from... And then she had captioned it, Focus One-Man Show.
Oh.
There was a whole uproar about, Gandhi, what's this one-man show
Oh, they
thing
pissed
if
off that other people are on the
there?"
lineup.
Yeah, it's like, come on.
But I think
You just
like
hate.
Okay.
Twitter, one thing I had to grow to realize is that people are always mad.
Yeah, people are mad.
Like people, like you can even say good morning, and someone will come and say, "What's so good about this morning?"
Mm.
And they will
might
drag
even swear
you.
at you also.
They will drag you. It'll become something big. Next minute, about exposure, and you just said good morning.
Yeah, next thing your files from your life are coming out.
But yeah, I think it's also important to note that Focalistic also put the new guys from Pretoria who were coming up on the lineup.
Facts.
There was G-Tech, there was Muchin,
Yes.
and I think Lawton was also there. I could be wrong. But he
Mm.
put a lot of those younger gents up there from Pretoria, which is actually really dope because one thing I've seen with Pretoria as a city, they really, like, they support their own
Yeah.
and they create environments for each other to survive, you know? Hence why the biggest artists, whether you go to piano, whether you go to hip hop, whether you go to, usually they are from PTA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
PTA has some fire energy. That's why I chose to live there.
Mm.
It's in the air. It's beautiful. The
Mm.
air out there. That's actually great to mention, because I did see all those guys there. I didn't see Lotsinova. I don't know if was he performing there. He
I'm not
was,
sure.
man.
Was he?
Was on the
Yeah.
lineup. No.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, but he wasn't there when I got there. I didn't see him, but I saw them, and I actually met all them niggas, dope niggas. Keep doing y'all thing, niggas.
Shout out
It's
to
all
Victoria.
love.
Mm.
What else happened this past?
So,
Yes,
let's get into it straight up, dog.
take us
I
to
mean,
the promised land.
Shout
yeah.
out to Foka, you know,
Yeah,
doing the most.
big business.
So, on big business level, Nasty C and Casper dropped.
The biggest release date of SA
It's
hip
about
hop
to get
this year,
lit,
ne?
bro. This
Actually,
episode is
yes.
gonna be fun.
Yeah, what was that? What was
So
that date?
15th of September.
15th of
ne?
September.
Friday,
Yeah.
15th. Yeah, biggest SA hip hop release date. Let's
This
go.
year, right? Okay, so let's
Yes.
go. So the week started off. Nasty C had a listening session.
Mm.
That was on the Monday of that week.
Did you get the invite?
Yeah, I was out there.
Oh.
You see,
It's-
big
I
on
didn't
Choppin It.
bump
Now they're inviting you on these handles. You the boy
Ooh.
this nigga.
now.
This bro.
Go get him, Frenchie. Nah, I'm fucking.
Nah, bro. Yeah, so we were out there. It was in Centurion, a racetrack, and Mercedes Benz obviously sponsoring or playing a role of a sponsor in some sorts. They made it so interesting because before the actual listening session started, which I think it started at 5 p.m. It was late, African time. It was supposed to start at 5 p.m. But when you arrived, firstly, you could test drive the cars. Like you could actually drive,
And this for everybody?
Yeah, everybody that got an invitation. All you
Yeah.
needed was a driver's license, obviously.
That's fire.
You get there, you
That's dope.
drive,
The AMGs, ne?
the AMG levels.
Ooh.
And then there were other cars you couldn't drive, but you could like view, your G63, your GT63s, all of these dope, cars from Mercedes-Benz. And then at some point, now you go in, Coca-Cola is part of Nasty C's career right now.
Mm-hmm.
They also played a role as well. There was like this cool photo booth, sponsored by Coca-Cola. And it was quite cool. Like you take a snap and 3 different pictures just pops up. The stage was that was designed by Coca-Cola as well. And then the vibes were lit. We got to network with like almost everybody from Nasty C's team, radio DJs, whatever. and then we got into the performance of some of the songs on the album. So he didn't perform every song. I mean, it's like 19 songs on that album. But
Thank goodness. Also, let's say that as a point. Guys,
yeah,
if you have a 20-song album at the listening session, don't do the entire 20. Come on.
yeah,
Yeah, that's too
That's
many
right.
songs.
that's
Nah.
a lot.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nasty C.
I know. So yeah, he didn't perform all of the songs, but some fire songs on the album performed, like the one with 25K. At some point, he brought Maglera Dope Boy on to perform that record. He did the tribute, that R.I.P. record, where it's like a tribute song to all the people that passed away in the industry, like most recently. And yeah, lastly, we requested Lemons and he did that. But just that experience on its own, was A-class, bro. It was like high level. And, it just speaks to the importance of having these type of partnerships, because Mercedes is not trying to fuck up their brand or reputation. So when they pull up, they're going to pull up at the highest level.
It's got to be big business.
Coca-Cola, same thing, So yeah, so that's how the week started. That Monday, we had fun. It was quite dope.
Oh, it was on Monday?
Yeah, it was on the Monday. And then about 3 days later, so on the Thursday, Casper and Yvest had his. It was like a whole cinematic experience, New Metro Cinemas, Monte, right? So before we got there, obviously Biliato was being advertised or marketed on the highest level.
Come on now.
Yeah, we had to get up, a few drinks, network a little bit. Nyovi, obviously he pulled up there. It was a little bit shaky for me. I thought, what's gonna happen now? Because
Mr.
I'm
Legacy.
thinking, how did I get an invitation out here, man? What am I doing out here?
Could have been a setup.
Yeah, dog, I didn't even want to go, but dog, I was like, bro, this is Casper. This could be his last album. Let me just go out there and show love, And it was
Why
actually
would
dope.
this be his last album?
I just felt like it could be
Lord.
his last. Understand? So I went there and it was
Some
dope.
of us are superstitious. So when you're saying that,
No, not like he's
Like-
going, like something is gonna happen, but I'm just feeling like, yo, you never know. Like a lot of shit has been happening in the game. So if you have an opportunity to show love and show up, just go do it. If you
Fire,
understand
I
what I
like
mean.
that.
So yeah, I showed up and I actually got to meet the nigga, calm, chill. Nothing funny happened.
No,
and
it's a
then-
good nigga.
Yeah, and then we got into the cinema thingy. So the graphics were quite dope. I thought he was gonna show us a movie or something, but not. As the songs were playing, there were specific graphics for each track, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and those graphics were actually quite sick.
That's dope.
Yeah, track by track, we got into it, It was, people showed up. At some point, people had to sit on the floor because it was so packed in there. Yeah.
In the cinema.
In the cinema, And that was on the Thursday. Yeah, and then on the Friday, the albums dropped.
The
Now let's
music
get
comes
right
out.
into it.
Okay.
Before we get
Before we
into the
dive
albums,
right in
let's-
there,
Yeah.
I'm assuming you guys feel the need to compare these albums and their rollouts. Was that a part of the game that's being played?
I don't know. I feel like from the beginning of them dropping on at the same day, that's what they wanted. I really, really like something in me is just telling me that like they are under the same label.
umbrella, yes.
So I don't think that like a label or whatever would say it's okay for the two of the biggest to go on the same day unless there's something they're trying to achieve out of it. So I actually believe that that date for both of them was specifically chosen just for this reason, for us to actually compare them. Because as we're busy comparing them and listening, they are both winning. Like they're getting
Of
the
course.
streams, they're getting the numbers, they're getting the bookings also. So yeah, man, I think, but if you like, I had to compare them, they're two completely different albums, like completely different in sonics, in how they were executed, every single thing, the message that they're trying to get to. So yeah, man, I actually like Casper's album. I feel like it was the most cohesive out of the two. In a sense of like it can be saga actually. The one song is boom bap, next song boom bap. Like it's not like a where I'm a bit scared. Like, why is this song going up now? There's the 808, there's drums,
Yeah.
So I actually like it. I think it does remind me of the whole Tuto thing, Refilwe, when he was in that
It
bag.
did feel that way, no?
Yes, like yeah, it was very, very put together. And with Nasty C, I mean, guys, it's Nasty C. He's good.
Come on.
He's good. Like he's good. I think the album was not as cohesive as it should have been.
Mhm.
But then he has good songs on there. Like there's some songs that you cannot not like them. You know, yeah. So both of them did well. Casper has the upper hand in terms of his cohesiveness and the track numbers.
Mhm.
Because I listened to
Oh,
it
yeah,
in
the
one sitting, yeah,
conciseness
and then I
also, yeah.
listened. So I was able to loop it and listen to it. Whereas with Nasty C's one, I had to take breaks. Like I for one, personally, this is me, in my opinion, me, please,
Yes.
in my opinion, like I don't like long albums. Like the moment I see more than 15, I get anxious. So
Same, my own lie. I have to get in
Listen.
there with you.
yeah, so I
Nah,
listened to it like up until track 10. And then I listened to the rest a little bit later, and then that's what I did before. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's a solid review.
Mm-hmm.
You compared the
With me?
yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Like I feel like
Wait, sorry. You compared the sessions.
yeah, I
Yes,
compared
because
everything.
you were there for
Yeah,
everything.
okay. So I was
Give
at
us
both.
your review, sir.
But just like she said, so this thing all started with these two artists announcing a tour together. Okay, so this is before we even knew that they're gonna drop on the same date. But when they announced that they're dropping on the same date, obviously they played us like that's some PR stuff. We all knew that you niggas planned this shit long time ago, you know, because it was on a space. And Cass like, oh, you also releasing on the 15th? Oh, you too? I'm like,
Oh, is that how they did it?
yeah, that's how they did it, you know. But anyway,
Who are they trying to
you
sell
know what
that
I
to?
mean? I'm like, niggas, come on now. Like, let's be real, niggas.
Come on now.
But anyway, so the whole tour and that whole thing just made me feel like, okay, cool. So we're gonna get a huge hip hop experience. These two are already on tour. So everything that they're gonna give us is worth speaking about. And it is also going to take us away from the traditional conversations that happen whenever Nasty C's name comes up, which is gonna be it's gonna be Aries. And when Casper's name comes up, it's gonna be Keenan. At least now this time it was okay, Cass and
Yeah,
Nasty. What do
different
you?
blend, no?
Yes, like what do
Yeah,
you
hey,
guys
shout
have for
out.
us? So from the listening session perspective, I think you sound like you heard how I sounded about the Nasty C one. Like I enjoyed that one. It looked so fire. It looked so dope. But Casper's one as well. The whole cinema thing was quite crazy. It was quite dope
Yeah,
too.
it's pretty dope. It's a
Yeah.
dope setup.
And then getting into the albums, on Casper's album, there are like a few songs that I vibe with, bro. I won't even lie, dog.
Mhm.
But before I get into it, now I need to address the what are they called? Tibipians.
Tibipians.
Okay. So when I go out and say
Address this.
Balmain is a dope joint, you know what these niggas say to me?
What they say?
They say Def Jam is paying me.
How?
Now, when I say Nasty C's album is better than Casper's album, they say I'm a hater.
Which one is
You
it?
So
can't
now what the
win.
fuck must I do?
Which one is it?
You know?
You're not gonna win with those people.
This fan base thing is
Ah,
dumb.
Like, bro,
You're not
I
gonna
hate
win.
it.
Like you're not gonna win with
I
those
hate
You
that
understand
Henry.
what I mean? Like I do have favorites from that album. Like Bashimano already like dog. The intro start like he's already going off. I remember like, I was at the edge of my seat listening to that. I was like, damn, this nigga, he's in his bag again, you know? And then I think it's Who Job Bless. I'm like, ooh, he going in. Track 3 is Ball Mom. I'm like, too easy, dog. And the story behind it is actually that whole album, the feel to the album, it started off with that Balmain beats. That's the first beat that got Casper feeling like, damn, we need to record
Until we
now.
in album mode.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
it set
okay.
the mood for the rest of the 10 tracks. You know what I mean?
That makes
so,
sense.
yeah, there are fire records on that album. I like the one with Nasty, like I said, like after 10, you know, with the Nasty C ad-lib. So I vibe with it. But me vibing with a Casper album is gonna get niggas calling me, telling me, nah, Def Jam is obviously paying you, bro. You know, we know you did it for the bag or whatever. I'm like, you know?
Focus on your work.
And
sir.
then
Let
you
them
talk about some stuff you don't like from it. You hating, you megacy ass nigga, yeah. Whatever. On the Nasty C side, I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but I will say there are some singles that, okay, this always happens, right? But there are some singles that just make sense when you're listening to the whole album.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, now the single makes sense. Like it's
Okay,
just
like
fitting.
what had you missed
Bro,
before
I like
that makes sense on
okay,
the album?
all of his singles were fire, but now when you're listening to the whole album, like No More, you know, in fact, Crazy already on track 3. After
On the
Endless.
UN show with No More, never it came out.
Not that hook, man.
No, that hook is business.
Is
Not
it
that
above
hook.
That hook is
not no more.
Nah, I'm sorry.
You don't fuck
That
with it?
hook.
So even on the album, it's not making the sense. You
Come
don't
on,
find the
it's
cohesion.
Not the hook. I mean,
Still not that hook.
like the hook, angazi. And he's actually really rapping on that song. Like I like the verses, and I said that like I genuinely like the verses, but the hook angazi ngiyenzani, like But I feel like with what he's saying, with Endless.
Yeah.
Like when I heard Endless,
Nah,
I
Endless is a
wasn't
piece.
moved. Yeah, but I wasn't moved by
For
it.
real?
Yeah, but when I heard it in the whole
context of the
thing,
album.
I was like, okay,
Your
this song is
taste
actually really nice.
Yeah.
It's questionable a little.
My taste is
You
not
couldn't
questionable.
pick up Endless first listen. For me, first listen, I was like, nah, this is a record. That's a fire record.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the best records on the album, actually.
Yeah.
Endless. It's one of the best records
Gives
on the
you a
album.
different type of feeling, you know.
That's a nice pop
yeah.
record. He killed that.
Another interesting point, maybe, just about that album. Obviously, he's got this feature, Kill the Noise. It features Maclera Doughboy on it, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, when I heard it, it was like another moment of Maclera just showing us his artistry, you know? Because he is known for bodying features on that hard rap shit, you know?
Yeah.
But that, it's more, it's different, you understand? So I asked him, like, yo, dog, how did you cook that verse up, bro? Like, how hard was it for you to get into the right pocket for that specific song? Because it's a different type of song. And he says, yo, bro, actually, he had to rap the verse to Nasty C's son, because Nasty C brought his son in the studio. They were in Cape Town. And he heard that beat, and he was just like riding along to it. And then when Nasty showed up with the son, and then he was rapping it to the son, and he just felt some type of way. He's like, damn, this is actually what we're going to go with, you know? And for me, that's like one of the standout songs on it. Also, Hard Choice with 25. So
yeah, that's
Nasty's
fire.
album,
Let me
fire, I think.
also comment on that. I think that also reflects on how good Nasty C is as an artist and as a producer.
Yeah.
For him to put Maclera on that type of joint and not typically like where everybody else has been throwing him. That tells you that he understands Maclera's artistry on that level and knew that Maclera could give him something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Maclera has been demonstrating a lot of that in the past, because every time he gets on a feature, you get something new. Like it's you can listen to his album and then you listen to his features and it's just so
not the same
something
guy,
new.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's already been on that path already. So given that even Nasty C had a similar feature run when he was coming up, and he also always gave us something new, you know? So I think maybe that's how Nasty C could see that in him.
This is my guy.
Right.
Yeah. Are we gonna rate these albums?
And
And are you guys gonna choose which one is better than the other?
So maybe I'm not gonna rate, ne? But
Niggas get invited to events. Now they no longer keep it a bean here
I
on
can
the
keep
show.
it a bean. Like I already said, like I vibe with the Nasty album, like yo, bro, like way more, obviously. But because these niggas chose to release it the way they did, now the conversations are beyond just the music. Even fans are now interested in numbers. And I don't know what fans are going to do with these damn numbers. What are you doing with the numbers,
I don't
bro?
do drugs. I do the numbers.
Yeah, you understand? So it's just like, yo, who's going to go number one first? Who had the most? So anyway, shout out to Nasty C.
But
Day
I mean,
one.
that's the position you put yourself in when you release on the same day, no?
Right.
So
that's dope.
Let's go.
So I just want to say shout out to Nasty C. So I think his global streams on Spotify day one was about 2 million.
Oof.
But in South Africa only, it was like just above 600K.
I saw that.
Yeah, Cass.
Fire.
And that's
his
a
first
lot.
day streams. Man, that's
First
a
day.
lot.
Yeah, that's a lot.
600
as-
first day.
As if that's not fire. The second day, he did another 400K.
He did another 400.
This
the
is
next
just
day I
South.
saw that.
This is just South African streams.
Nah, he's on fire.
So I'm so excited about what's gonna happen in a week. You know. Yeah. What those are gonna look like. How the fans are gonna react, because they're already reacting to who's number one, who's got the most numbers, this is that. So that's also a conversation. I just wanted to put it out there. But both albums are doing good. Casper did about 300K, just above
on his
300K
first day, no?
on his first day, South African streams on Spotify. So that's also dope for an independent
Really dope.
artist. Yeah.
Super dope.
That's quite dope. Now, sticking to these two, they are on the African Throne World Tour. And we can't just talk about the tour without talking about what happened in Zambia. Right?
Oh, oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like you gotta be doing the most if you're pissing Nasty C off.
Yeah, for Nasty. That was so out of character.
You must be doing a lot, yo. Cause
So just tell us what happened in Zambia. They eat.
okay, I only saw the
you're
video.
commenting on it, but now just for
of the disclaimer.
Yo, I just saw the video, guys, ne? And I'm assuming that like
Yeah.
that person pissed them off like really, really bad.
Yeah.
But apparently he was actually performing that RIP.
That
song.
RIP record.
So
yeah.
maybe he
Just
was
felt
performing
disturbed.
it and he just felt like,
disrespected.
why are you on stage, dog? It's not a rage.
Yeah.
facts.
But I feel like he's not the first or the last artist to beat up someone for hopping on stage.
For bomb rushing him on stage, there? Yeah.
He's not the first or the last. But
It's gonna happen still.
if you had to search even your favorite artists, like some of
Keenan
them,
then
you're
kicked
gonna
some niggas'
find,
ass also.
not all of them. Marabanye uzobathola nabo bayatrapana. So
So we're not judging him too harshly. Are
I'm
we letting
not,
him live for
honestly.
whooping the man
So here's my
on
thing.
a
man.
general level?
Here's my thing. So the
Yeah.
first time I watched, okay, so I heard somebody's like, yo, French dog, Nasty C just beat somebody up on stage. I'm like, no way, bro. Why would Nasty C beat a fan up on stage, bro? Nasty C is one of the only, he's one of the, like, the artists who makes so much time for his fans. That nigga loves that nigga's gonna be playing games and he wants his he just wants to talk to his fans while playing games. You understand? This is somebody who back in the day would go live almost every week. So why would he do that? They sent me the video, I watched it. So first day was just to see what happened. When I watched it again, my concern was not about his reaction, really. You know what my concern was about? My concern was this, dog. This fan gets on stage, right?
Yeah.
First, initial reaction, Nasty C pushes the guy. Now here's my problem. I counted. There were 5 seconds, dog.
Count.
5 seconds.
Count.
Nasty's looking at this nigga, and that nigga's looking at him for 5 seconds before Nasty now loses it. And I'm thinking, in those 5 seconds, bro, what could have gone wrong? What could have gone, like, imagine I am a bitter ass fan. You just pushed me. Maybe my hand is, watching me get pushed, and I got something in my pocket, and I want to, I'm drunk, maybe. You understand what I mean? So I was like, we have a security problem. And this is what Drake addressed. He told that security ass nigga, you so fucking slow.
It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So niggas are coming on stage.
Niggas are coming on
How is
stage.
this a part of the show?
Because with Drake, it was the same shit. It was a push. He's looking at him, and then he notices that, okay, this guy's calm. And then he walks him there. Then he tells us, but you're so fucking slow. And he's right. Because with Lil Baby, I saw the same thing, bro. It wasn't even 3 seconds, dog. They were on that fan. So that just like highlights it for me, the security concerns whenever an artist is on stage. Like so much could go wrong. And what Eat said, the nigga was performing the tribute song, bro. Like it's not a rage song. There's absolutely no need for you to go up there and do what?
No, but I mean, it's a fan jumping on stage to show Nasty love.
I think French
Wrong
touched on
time.
something of the security. We genuinely do have a security problem. Like, you can even take it with DJ CT Light. He was shot, like,
But not at a concert. If a fan is
But
jumping
I'm not
on
talking
stage,
about like
it's
I'm taking it further than just the concert itself.
Okay, but I
Like-
just want us to address what happened in the Nasty City
Yeah,
and
but
how
I'm
we
sure-
feel about it.
Yeah, Marana, it plays into
Is that
part
also
that there's
part
a
of
security.
the security concern?
Yeah, insecurity is lacking these days.
Are you guys really saying Nasty was concerned for his security in that moment?
Yes, dude.
Stop it, guys.
But a
For
lot of people said that.
real.
Hey, it's like,
Are you
I-
guys serious? Let me hear this in the room. Do you guys really believe Nasty was concerned for his security in that moment when that fan jumped on stage?
Why? But why did it? Okay, let's. If he wasn't concerned about his security, he wasn't gonna
Yes, no?
fight him.
He just didn't appreciate having the nigga on stage. I don't think it had anything to do with his security.
I was
Somebody-
concerned about
But
his
somebody
security.
who he travels with security all the time.
Hmm.
Like all the time. Bakafuna uphuma
Fans
ngaphandle
are not
ayothatha
jumping
iphone
on
call.
stage to
There's
come
so-
do something to you. Come on.
But-
That's never happened. They jump on stage to get their hug and to get their
Kana, who's
whatever.
that guy? John Lennon. Is it John Lennon? Who's the guy that got shot?
Oh,
Stabbed.
shit.
By a fan who
On
jumped on
stage.
stage.
They didn't jump on stage.
You see, but now.
But they got
we
killed
must
by
talk about what
fans.
we talking about,
Was it not?
though.
No, that wasn't.
But they were.
I'm talking about
But
this
some
moment
weirdo-ass
that
fan that
Nasty
was
had.
following him.
We've seen artists have this moment a lot of
Yeah,
times.
we've seen it.
Like I've seen so many videos of like even from Wizkid shows, concerts, and
It
Burna
happens.
Boy concerts.
Yeah, no, it
Someone
happens.
sneaks up on the stage, gets that.
But they are
2
not
seconds.
Nasty C at that point. They are with kids. Or Banner Boy.
That's fine. All I'm saying is the security concern. I don't buy it.
Okay, so
I
you're
don't
not
buy
buying
the
that
security
he was
concern.
concerned for his security.
No, nigga.
Okay,
Wow.
fine.
If he was concerned for his security, he wouldn't engage in the danger. If he's
But
concerned,
the danger is paying
why is he running to the danger?
the danger is paying the bills.
There's no danger. He didn't like this nigga. He felt, why is this nigga on my stage?
Mm.
Because he pushed the nigga.
Mm.
The nigga looks at him.
For
he
5
looks
seconds
at him.
at that
The
part.
nigga still jumping, saying, "Come on." Nasty looks at
Yeah.
him and then rushes him.
He lost his cool and everything. So that's why I say, like, the second time I watched it, I wasn't even too concerned about the reaction because that has happened. You know, I've seen AKA kick a fan
Yeah.
on stage, did the same shit. You know, I was just worried, like, yo, bro, 5 seconds, that's a lot. Like, a superstar is in contact with just a fan.
Mm.
And as if 2 days later it happens to Drake. And I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen here? He's like, yo, you're so damn slow. And I was like,
So you guys
It's
are not
something I
judging
picked
him
up.
for how he handled it. You guys are saying, "Well done, Nasty C."
I'm not saying well
We're
done.
not saying well done. We're not in twisting words. That's why people get in
Lord,
trouble
all
when they
the
come on this
twists.
show. Every time
asking.
people come on this show, they get in trouble. What?
Lord of the twist.
We did not say that.
So what are
Yeah.
y'all saying?
You know, you can understand why someone is doing something,
Yeah.
but not agree with it.
Mm,
That's what I'm saying. Is that
Yeah.
I understand
what
why
he did,
he did that
I get
or
it
how
too.
he did whatever, but I don't agree
it's
with
not
it.
necessarily right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I get this. I
Who-
mean, he puts on a show. Also, at a concert, it's like we rehearsed this. Like,
Yeah.
this is not like so. If I was booked at
It's
like
my work.
somewhere and then and then some fan jumps on. I get it. Like this is our show. We built
Yo,
this. We're
so
on
much
the
work
road.
into
We
it.
are rehearsed. We are. You can't just jump on my shit. I get it.
Yeah. Who do you guys so who do you think is benefiting the most from this tour? Between the two.
Yo,
Who
Yo.
eats? Take us away.
but
Hey.
yo, to be honest,
Yeah.
I don't have an answer for that.
Mm-mm.
Are we for let's keep it a bean.
This is
Like,
not what we
I'm being
brought you
for
here.
real.
Let's keep it a bean.
Like this is me being for real. I don't know. I don't know.
It is your job to know.
Yeah.
It's literally your
And that's
job.
the problem we are having.
Because
Not
you're
sure when I
gonna
should
write
know.
on this, no?
So not yet. But I guess if the opportunity presents itself, I will write.
Mm.
And then ngizofika ngilalele chopping it. Ngibone ukuthi what were y'all
Ukuthi
saying.
kuthiwani?
Bhuda,
Yeah.
who you think is benefiting from the
Um,
tour the most?
I actually honestly had never thought of it that
Uh-huh.
way.
It's a shared thing.
Yeah, I always saw it in that way because I feel like both their brands are
Mm.
just as big.
Mm.
Like they are big in different ways, but they're both big. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's a what's the question?
Collab.
It's a
co-beneficial.
co-beneficial.
Okay.
Is that a term?
I don't even know, but we cooked it right now.
But it works. Yeah, I think it's co-beneficial. I won't lie. I've seen you guys saying Casper's riding on the kids' wave. I know that's how you feel, Frenchie. Give it to us.
What do you mean?
Give it to us.
What does he mean? That's how I
I've
feel.
seen y'all interact there on the net. I watch
Come
you.
on, dog. Look, it is obviously working for Casper. Like, dude, I'm not even gonna speak on Nasty C. Why? Nasty C been touring, man. On his maybe not on this level, but
Yeah,
he's
I think
taken
it's both their first
like on this level.
continental tour.
Yeah,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
Casper been out the country, also. But I just feel like, with Cass, he had his marketing buddy, R.I.P. to the goats, and
Of course.
let's keep it a bean.
Don't say what you gotta say.
Are we keeping it a bean or not? That's how I walked in. Are we keeping it a bean or
No,
not?
keep it.
Yo.
Keep it.
Casper
keep
had
it.
his marketing buddy, R.I.P. to the goats, and I just appreciate how
Mm.
he found a very creative way to still be part of the biggest conversation in hip hop right now, which is
So
the
you're
African tour and the biggest
You're saying
drop
Casper is buddying up.
Hmm?
You're saying he's buddying up.
with Nasty.
Yeah. You're saying he needed this.
Me, I'd say that with my chest, bro. Like,
I've heard people say this.
I
Where
think this is working for
perspective
Casper
coming
on
from?
another level. Like, shout out to Casper's team. Those niggas are so creative, dog. Like, and very strategic, you know? For you to even approach Nasty's team and say, let's do this, or whoever approached who, but like, damn, that is so strategic. Like,
You guys don't think Casper would have been able to drop and have buzz without the
On his
Nasty
own?
collab?
I think he would have still.
Yeah.
But it's just a thing of like what works best at this current moment.
mm,
Because of the fact that like musically very yes, we are looking at hip hop, but it's not like that. It's not like how it used to be.
mm,
So in any way that you can maximize.
do it.
That's what he does. That's what
That's
Casper
what he's
does.
been
That's
doing
what
ever
Casper
since he
does.
got here.
Yeah,
And
shout out.
that's why he's where he's at. Because I've also commended him for being a good businessman.
Super.
Like
Are
he
we-
knows opportunities and he knows how to exploit them and make a bag because it's all about making a bag at the end of the day.
And,
Yeah.
and remaining in the conversation, like
Mhm.
making the AKA tribute song and putting it in his album.
Oh
What
yeah,
do you
there's
think about that?
also. He snuck it in. He's fighting for his father. too. Okay,
Hey.
I have a bit of the
take it
blues.
there. Take
But
it there.
yeah,
Let's
I
do
wanted
it.
to say that like I saw the conversations there and man, I think it goes back to what I said. People just want something to be upset about always on Twitter. Like, because when I listened to the song, it was not malicious. You understand?
At
Like,
all.
it was not him trying to say, I got the last laugh or whatever. Like, people are making it seem like Casper did that out of a place of being mean spirited. And the thing is about music is that whatever energy you have during studio when you make the song, it comes out.
Yeah.
So if that was his angle, but I felt like that was a very heartfelt tribute, like he really he tried his best to express himself or however he's feeling. And instead of tweeting, which is something we have most of us are against, tweeting your feelings, he went into the booth and he put it out there. So I don't understand why everybody's really mad about it. Like it just makes no sense. But then it's fan bases, like that's just how it is.
Bhuda, you got something to say?
Frenchie, what you got out
yeah,
there?
dog. Like for me, dog. Hey, bro.
You didn't appreciate
Let me
it.
just take you back, man.
on any level.
Let me take you back a little bit, right? Because this is the chop and we're keeping it a bean,
Keep
right?
it the most, the highest beat.
So, so Ricky passed away, right? And one of the things that happened when Ricky passed away was at the memorial service, Casper made a speech. When he made that speech, obviously, he's not gonna go and say, "Yo, I was beefing with this nigga. We were not on good terms, whatever." He made it about Ricky in the best way he could and whatever. And even after he did that, a lot of people who were riding with Ricky still went online and said, "But fuck this, bro. We're not stupid."
Oh, yeah, I remember.
These, by the way, it's not the legacy. And that's why I'm raising this point, right? They were like you niggas knew each other for so long, it was so easy for us to know that you guys are not cool. Ricky did a whole interview about you niggas not being cool, right? Ricky had 2 cotton fests and you were not even there. When you had a couple fill-ups, he was not there. You understand what I mean? For you, we all knew the situation. Now you show up at the memorial and you're speaking like this. The reaction from a lot of people, this is not just 1 or 2, but like, and on the internet, by the way, I know that the internet is not real life, Bhuda T. I'm just saying what we saw, right? There was backlash about that move. The second thing that happened is Ambitious Entertainment releases this song called Ooh Ah. It's Fagalo Ice. It's got a Ricky Rick verse. And then you could tell that the Casper verse came in after Ricky passed. And this is what started the whole Big Zulu, Casper thing and KO getting in and Questa. This is where this whole shit started.
What do you mean? That's where that's
Because
Don't you remember when they were like dissing each other?
They were dissing each other because of that record. Casper went on that record and say hip hop only dies when I say so. And then
Then Big Zulu
and
came
then
in
Big
and
Zulu
said,
dissed him
okay.
with 100 bars or whatever.
Just
You understand what I'm saying? So on that, there was again people who came out and say, but fuck this, bro. You've not been on a record with Ricky for almost 4 years. The first time we get to hear you niggas on the same record, you use this record to speak like this. You know,
so niggas didn't appreciate the tone.
They didn't appreciate the tone. Like you know what I mean? So my only thing is, it's like the Megacy would obviously react like that. Why? Because they are judging it from how things were when their GOAT was still around. What they know, what they knew. That energy is not just gonna change off of a song. You feel me? That Ricky energy is not just gonna change because you made a speech at the memorial service. You know, it's not gonna change just because now you're on a song with Ricky. So why didn't they get the backlash, but the Megacy's getting the backlash?
Why didn't who get the backlash?
All of these Ricky fans who went and said, fuck Casper, that speech is fake. They didn't get no backlash. People understood where they're coming from. You understand? But when Megacy does it, it's like, nah, this fan base weird. Nah, bruh. This is fan shit.
So you're fighting for the Megacy?
No, I'm raising 2 valid points. Because I know people watching and they be like, I know Rashid K watching this right now gonna be like, you too Megacy. Nigga, I raised a valid Ricky example.
Let me bring some perspective into the room.
I think, I get what you're
feel me?
saying.
Yeah, I get
But
what you're
I
saying.
still do believe it goes back. You mentioned the tone thing, right? With that Ooh Ah song, a lot of us I didn't like it because I was like, what?
Okay, yeah.
Because of his tone, right? So you could hear Guti Vele, the point of that song or that verse is to make this big statement. Yeah, and but when it comes to that song, like I think that's the problem with a lot of these things is that people aren't judging the music or the artist based on what's going on right now. They're taking all that other stuff and then, but like, let's judge the product itself. The song itself is not malicious. I know people are you're being paid. Nobody paying me shit. But that song was not malicious. Like it was not like I listened to it, I heard it, and genuinely it was just him, just like expressing himself and how he feels because AKA's death took everybody by surprise.
Yeah.
Like when I also found out, like I was just shocked. Like I even switched off my phone because everybody's just texting me and I'm like, okay, all of y'all are lying. I'm not gonna switch on the news. I don't care because you guys are lying. There's no way. And I even thought the video was fake, but it turned out to be true. So imagine fans, commentators, spectators are shocked by his death. I mean, the person that he was, a lot of people even call him, they call them at sparring.
Yeah, they
sparring.
They arch nemesis.
Yeah, so imagine how he felt. He was probably as shocked as everybody else.
Of course.
Yeah.
Which is the perspective I wanted to bring into the room. Like, okay, is Casper not allowed to feel the same thing everybody felt from losing AKA? Wait, also, like, these guys were beefing, but it's not like these guys wanted to kill each other. I don't think the hate was that. Like, Casper was not happy to hear that. It's not the type beef where Casper was happy to hear, oh, this nigga dead, and then went on the net and
I
said,
mean,
yeah,
you're
hell
right.
yeah.
Mm.
It's not like that. This is a guy, it was a career thing.
He
It
did
was
say-
career based, it was work based, it was muse based. It's like, yo, this guy, he's my focal point. I use him to keep myself at the top. They used each other in the same way. So I think their beef was more so a mutual respect at work thing and competition. Even though they ended up wanting to place hands on each other, which for me, even that is a part of the sports. I think that's just nigga shit. Like if you and a certain nigga can't have something that you can't get through, throw it in, gangane the hands, and then once you guys have done that, now you know the other man must
Throw it
respect the
in,
man
man.
because he caught the hands, so he must lower his tone, and then we can all keep it pushing.
Yeah. You know,
My
Buddha,
thing is,
sorry to cut you off.
sorry, let me finish
yeah.
this thought. I don't think anybody felt as though the song was malicious, but I think people are judging him more so feeling like he's using the man's death to try and gain some traction
It worked.
into his album by now showing some fake sentiment, which I don't think was fake either. My thing is, I don't get what people don't understand about Casper having, like, he's literally been joined at the hip with this nigga his whole career. How can he not have a song where he's saying something about this nigga died? He's had a song where he's saying something about this nigga probably in every album.
No, that's true.
Now the nigga has passed. Why would he not have a song about the nigga? He's had a song about the nigga the whole time. But
Mm.
this is what he's saying on the song he made this time is how he feels this time. And of course, he has changed his tone and saying different things because circumstances are different. That nigga died. Also, he got murdered in front of the whole country. We all saw it.
Yeah,
It's not
and
nice.
Still not.
Nobody
still not
enjoyed
solved.
that. Not even Casper. And I think he should be allowed to express that.
Mm.
Yeah. So, yeah, to round it off there, he did say at the listening session that I never thought he was gonna say that, where he's like, "Yo, at the end of the day, without AKA, there's no Casper on your vest," and this is before he played that song. So I was
That's
like,
right.
And that's actually so crazy that you're saying this because I was actually the last person to ever interview AKA before he passed away. Like I was literally the last person, and I asked him about it. I was like, dude, I can't be talking to you here and not mention that. I mean, it's part of your journey.
Mm.
So I asked him about it, and he did say with like he kind of does realize that without AKA there wouldn't be a Casper. He said something like
Facts.
that, and he even said to me that every time I slow down, he kind of also slows down. Every time I pick up momentum, he kind of also picks up momentum. Have you noticed? And I'm like, yeah, sort of. And he's like, yeah. So, like, me and him, we were cool at a certain time,
Mhm.
but things happened. And he just mentioned, Uguti, you can't have two bulls in one kraal.
Mhm.
That's all it is. Like with him
Facts.
and AK and Casper, it was that's what he told me. So I don't know if it was a media answer or what. But yeah.
No, I think that's the actual assessment of the situation. And I think that's another thing the fan bases forget and don't put into consideration is the fact that these niggas actually know each other in real life. You guys don't know how well these guys know each other and the relationship they have. It's like even for a Ricky fan base or whatever to even try and judge Cass for speaking at that man's funeral and saying all those things. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't even know us. You guys just consume us on the screen. This is somebody I know in real life. I've been friends with him in my real life and we've lived our dreams together. Who cares what we were beefing the last 2 years of his life here?
Mhm.
This is my guy. Like, and now he's dead in real life. You
Mm.
think I'm gonna
Keep
carry
quiet.
some stupid beef shit? We don't even know why we were beefing. We're just humans being humans. So
Great.
sometimes people need to get out of the full on. You're such a fan, you don't even have a brain. It's like, this is weird. It's like you can only speak from a perspective of loving
Fair.
someone. It's like that. I find that to be so
Yeah,
ignorant.
and some things are more complex than what we think, right?
Very.
So I've been in the shoes of just being a fan, like not knowing what's going on in the background and all of that.
Mm.
So I realized that they just like you speak from from that perspective.
Exactly.
Awazi.
I was uthi
And
ukhuluma ngani.
you can only assume, and whatever assumptions they make has to make them feel better also, understand.
Yeah.
So if they can assume ukuthi what Casper did was malicious, it's going to make them feel better ukuthi vele vele, yeah, but it confirms. So it's sort of like everything that you do either confirms or denies that assumption that they
Yeah.
have.
Whatever
So-
you want it to be, vele.
and you won't win, man, with these fan bases.
Nah,
That's
not
what
at
it
all.
is. Yeah. So we're rounding off that chat, nah?
Mm-hmm.
But we keeping that element. So Bhuda T, on the tweet that you put out asking people what they want,
Mm-hmm. I'm
Cedric-
actually looking at that also right
yeah.
now.
So if you look at the quotes, King Cedric, he's a journalist, writer as well, and
Mhm.
he's been wanting us to briefly just get into this. How beneficial
Feel at home.
is this beef thing, you know,
Mm-hmm.
these days or nowadays? You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So let me just put you on like some more context. So you've heard of the Big Hash, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Talented artist, rapper, singer.
Yeah, I know.
You know what
Hash,
I'm
yeah.
saying? And then there's another artist who's also talented, Bello Salo. Like he dropped an R&B soul project or R&B this year, and it reached #1 on those charts. Reese been featuring him on his things or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's been throwing shots at the Big Hash. Now, you're a little bit OG for what's happening here on this
These
level.
are the kids.
These are the
I've
kids,
seen
right?
this
Oh, you've seen? You
engagement.
tapped in?
It's talking about
Okay,
the
shout out.
kids.
So the beef is because
Respect your OG, my
yeah, the
nigga.
beef is because when
He's
Hash
really the one.
when Hash was popping, Salo asked him for like a verse or something, and Hash was like, nah. This is according to Bello. Yeah? So Hash didn't want to work with him. And then now he finally got to work with Reese. You know, he got to touch #1. And now it's like, yeah, Hash. I'm here now, nigga.
Like,
What's
yeah,
happening?
talk that shit.
You
now.
know?
Yeah.
You know? So he's been poking it and poking it. I
seen
bumped
that.
into Hash at the fucking listening session.
Yeah, yeah.
Casper's one. I'm like, hey, yo, Hash was hat. And he's like, yo, man, French was good. I'm like, all right, so what's up with you and Salo? Because I get to see everything he's saying. You're not even on Twitter. What are you saying?
Yeah.
It's like, nigga, that's the most awkward beef ever. Because there's nothing there. He
Yeah.
pulls out his phone, shows me a DM on IG, and Salo will be like, yeah, I know you vibe with me in real life. My only problem is you never show it on the internet, whatever. You understand? They tried getting people to mediate. And it's like so awkward, dog. It's like there shouldn't be anything here, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I mean? So what Cedric is just asking there is like, bro, in 2023, are these internet-driven beefs still beneficial? Like, you know, is it something that should still be encouraged? Looking at what these youngins at the stage at which they're at in their careers are doing, even if it's not being played by both sides, but at least one believes that by me poking at this nigga, something is happening. So that's what he's asking over there.
Are you directing this to me?
Eats,
You can take it, yes?
Yeah, for sure. But Eats been telling that nigga
This
to
is
stop
y'all's playground.
So yeah, I've been telling him to stop, like, because I genuinely feel like it's too early in his career for him to try and like beef or pick beefs or have beefs in some way, shape, or form with people, especially publicly, you know,
Yeah.
because you don't know which toes you're gonna step on, and then next minute bag valele. And bazokuvalela, shem.
Akavalwa, vese.
Bazokuvalela.
Akavalwa.
So I think with him saying that, it's actually just it's actually quite funny because I think he did a similar thing with Lucas Raps.
Were they beefing?
They weren't beefing.
Who did a similar thing?
Bello Salo.
Or was attacking Lucas also?
I understand.
Also, he's just looking for the smoke, actually.
I also don't understand it because he's so talented. So there's no need for him to do that.
I mean, he went #1.
You're talented. You've got a good cosign. What's the issue now? You know, and I just don't get it. Like with even the thing of showing love on the internet, like
What
guys.
was the issue with Lucas?
With Lucas, like Lucas dropped on SoundCloud and he dropped on SoundCloud, and then it was just the thing of like
Babang is SoundCloud.
I'm a chats.
They were fighting over SoundCloud charts.
Basically, that it was just about the charts.
Ah,
And
Okay, but
I think that's the problem right now is that in terms of beef and stuff,
yeah.
it's beneficial, yes, but it's not working. Like it
Mm-mm.
doesn't work these days to have beefs and people
yeah, no,
rivalry.
it's
Yeah.
Like that's why a lot of hip hop guys they have like they don't like each other or they have beefs behind closed doors. But you as the outsider looking, you wouldn't know. Yeah, but uzobabona bayo-collaborate, they'll take pictures, they'll chill. But
yeah.
because they also understand ukuthi if we beef publicly, like it might not work like an AK and a Casper.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know, so I think with him, like or any young artist who's trying to come up, like that's not the best way.
Mm.
Like it
To go about it.
I mean, I'm yet to see it work.
Mm.
Yeah.
It actually is for some people is tenor off because we're just like, okay.
True. So I'm actually gonna pick it up from there. So my assessment on the thing, if he feels like Hash played with him and didn't show him love, and now it's his time,
he's
and
popping.
he wants to say "I told you so," nigga, I think he's well within his rights if that's how he feel. But if he's trying to push a beef for relevance, I think I'm gonna take it from where Eats just ended it. It's like I don't think that thing is beneficial. Also, the beefing thing kind of these days just leaves a sour taste in people's mouths. It just doesn't land well.
weird
It's
now.
just it's an immediate switch. It's like here's someone coming with that thing.
Yeah.
And then even more importantly, so in the hip hop space, I think we are in a space where we just need desperately so also unity in the cuts. Like we ain't got no space for any of the fuck shit. We actually should be coming together way more. Like it's coming back a bit now. People are starting to be a bit friendlier to each other and attend each other's things, but we still don't have our own spaces that we can go to like every week or something. We still don't have our own parties or big events that are coming every 2 or 3 months that we know, hey, we're all gonna be there and you're gonna see everybody out there and it's hip hop and it's us all night. We don't have any of that. And I think that's what our focus should be. Like that's
Yeah.
what we should be
Yeah.
trying to build. All this other fuck shit. But also you're talking about kids. If the kids are the ones doing all the shouting on the net, that's fine. But the older statesmen, which is why I guess I'm the one who should be saying this, that's the way the focus should be, is in building and
Yeah.
coming together.
Dope.
Like a community.
Because the community has died.
Yeah.
And I think it's just like the problem is that a lot of people are taking things very personally. Like you could just be doing your job and somebody's taking offense, you know? So I think that's the bigger problem is that you are a rapper, you're an artist and you're doing your job and there's somebody just taking offense and then it becomes personal for no reason. Yeah.
Facts. I think, people have to respect that what's being done on these platforms from people who share their opinion or speak on situations from the culture is also a job. This is our job here, motherfuckers. Do you hear me? We're not here in the playground playing. So what we do here is what we do. So if we happen to speak about what you do, it's because of what you do. It can't be an issue. It can't be a problem.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Another interesting one here is like this nigga wants us to chop about how hip hop DJs are letting the genre
Yes, Junior
down
Echo,
by
ne?
by not introducing the masses to new music. Are they even tapped
Facts.
in
I
with
also
the new
wanted to
drops?
chop it about that.
Mm.
And somebody said that to me over the weekend when we were out, actually. So what is happening? Like, we had this
Are
exact
they
same
captured or
conversation. I think that we have a huge issue in SA hip hop with people being stuck in the peak.
Okay.
The 2014-15 era
It was too
when
nice.
it was the nicest. When it
Yeah.
was the nicest. And because I feel like also that's when we were all in the club. That's when we were all because these people are low-key still playing those sets.
Mm.
And it's like, why are we still playing these joints?
Why are you still playing All I Do Is Win in
Why?
2023?
Why are we still
Like,
playing these joints?
And why are you playing Work? Work is not even a hip hop song. Like, what's going on?
That set, there's this set that they all play. There's like a set of like 20 songs.
Drop it like it's hot. Why?
Yo, why are these songs still in the set? Do we really not have any new hits like that could play in sets? From
And that's
any,
a problem.
come on, there's so much new
So
music
yo,
that comes out.
dog.
Niggas have fire music.
Bro.
And I think like I've also asked that question on the TL before, like a while ago, my last year or something like that. And then like there's DJs that I know, like your Nicky Newlands, your Lesedi the DJ, they are hip hop DJs. And they actually explained it a bit, like, you know, when you go and DJ at a place, you have to look at the crowd, right? So in as much as we do blame our DJs, I think also it's gonna come back to us, the people, nathi siyinkinga. Because if a DJ is gonna play a new song, even if it's hot and you don't know it, uzoboreka. You'll even there's people who stand still.
Yeah.
But then they play All I Do Is Win and everybody hands go up. Like that time this DJ was playing the hottest new thing from even an SDC, and we just all looking at each other. Oh, it's this. It's oh, okay. Stand still. All I Do Is Win. Nazi, like we complain, but we are dancing along, we're singing. So for them, standing at the booth, they realize, okay, this SDC song I ain't sci-fi. All I Do Is Win.
So that my set can be fine.
Yeah, you understand? And they have to impress.
Yo.
Yeah.
So it's also dealing with a difficult crowd. Fuck. Dealing with a difficult crowd is a real thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I think, you know what I think it is also? I think it also goes back to the community thing and us lacking one. Because we are now the visitors once again in the spaces we are in. That's why the DJs can't even play what they want. Because you are a visitor here. You only have the hour or 2 hours, otherwise we're rocking the piano. So jam, and keep it pushing.
Yeah.
So we can't even do our own thing in other people's spaces. So even more so why community building right now is our number one mission. Hip hop! Or me as the culture chap leader, I must take it upon my hands and just
build that community, bro.
Yeah,
I think also so we're not gonna get into that chat in depth, bro, but I think what you're saying indirectly answers that question. Are brands ever going to invest in SA hip hop at the volume for these niggas dropping the class average every time? I'm not even gonna mention that fan base. Fuck you niggas, you know? Nah, bruh. For real.
Who's dropping the class average?
No, you understand what I mean? That's a real question. What you're saying is actually, until we build that community, right? That's when all of these brands are gonna come back at the volume at which they were, investing and injecting money in the game in those peak years. It's a serious conversation. But some people felt the need to make it an ego thing.
Oh yeah, they were eating you there on the net.
Hey dog, for nothing, bro.
For asking Gucci, come on, the friends, bro. Where are they?
You understand what I'm
saying? Asking a good question.
I think, we need to also...
You have to get that off.
Bro.
I think we also need to, like, in as much as we're having this conversation about brands, we need to note that there are brands that are doing something. Like Red Bat with Sports Scene. They are doing a lot. Like, they're doing a lot. They even did the video with Scoomy. Scoomy. I'm sorry if I'm saying her name wrong. Scummy.
Is it Scummy or Scoomy?
Yeah, but
I've also, when I see it, I've also asked myself.
I'm so sorry, my girl. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's why they even have that Sports Scene and Red Bat thing. I mean, right
even
now,
the merch you're wearing,
I'm even rocking merch.
That's
from Red Bat with this girl called Benzo. She's a really, really dope rapper.
Yeah.
And she raps in Xhosa. So they did this with her around the time when they did it with Blackie and
yeah,
Baby
yeah,
Diaz
yeah,
and
yeah.
Oh, that's fire. Yeah.
yeah. So I think even now what I've been seeing a lot is Flying Fish.
Mm.
Flying Fish is very involved. Like
got Lawton over,
Lawton, they've got Lawton, they've got Lucas, they've got
Yeah.
Cash CPT. They've actually got a lot even in hip hop and outside.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
And Red Bull with the freestyles. So in as much as like we gonna sit here and say brands, whatever, I feel like they are doing a lot, but because of the fact that there's not a community, we are not we're not seeing it, or people are seeing what they want to see.
Yeah.
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 Also, because there isn't a community,
Uh-huh.
the brand can't just come in and make it rain.
You can't.
So the bread only goes to that one specific
That one
person or
specific
this person
nigga.
and that person. And that's because, Pella, what people need to understand is brands are doing business.
That's it.
So where we are going to bring our business is where there's value.
That's right.
But we are not going to bring our business here
To a circus.
to a fucking circus where this whole audience
We're not
is
doing
busy
that.
shouting on Twitter.
Mm.
But outside, the Yanos and everybody else is running away with the money.
Right.
And you guys are on the net here
Yeah.
competing about dumb
Okay.
shit.
So, sorry, Eats, you want to go in?
Yeah, and there was also a time actually when the Yanos thing was coming up, 2020, 2021, where actually like in terms of brand deals, South African hip hop artists had more brand deals. Even in Yanos peaking, like they had the most
Still
brand
do,
deals.
no?
Even right now.
I think they still do, but because of what you're saying, we are all shouting, everybody's mad at one another. It looks bad for everyone. Now brands are looking elsewhere. Now they're putting on more Uncle Waffles and the Devon Gogos, like Boy Youngstan, and like now they are actually seeing it's okay. We actually don't have to stick here.
To stick with these
the money's
guys,
also
yeah.
there, Yeah.
Facts.
Dope. So I think maybe one last like chop, and then we just start mentioning, name dropping, not name dropping, but mentioning things that are worth mentioning. But it's gonna depend on how comfortable the room is to get into this one.
We
Do
are
we
at
need to?
home here.
Eats.
We're at home.
I mean, nobody likes it when Eats gets bullied there on the timeline. Like it's just so weird because it's a pattern, and it's like out of everything we could be discussing, building a community, all of these things, you get to wake up to some weird stuff there. You understand what I mean? That was sensitive for a lot, We all got dragged into that ish, Vele, because we're all fighting now.
Yeah.
And it wasn't cool. So, I mean, you've had a couple of run-ins with not just one group, to be quite honest. Like, this thing has been happening at the smallest hip-hop events. Yeah. Random strangers are just gonna pull, and these are men, dog.
It's niggas.
Niggas, bro.
So,
like this nigga's
man,
big. Bro.
I think I'm very sorry. Like there's
Bro.
somebody who said I make everything about gender, but I am black and then I am a woman in South Africa, so it's impossible not to make things about gender. But I do find it very alarming how a lot of women within the industry have so much to say negative about it in comparison to the guys. Me and French Fry, you could say we're doing the same thing. Have you ever had people come to you and tell you to stop talking so much on Twitter?
Like in person?
In person.
Nah.
Exactly. Have you ever had teams actually come and attack you in person? Have you ever been singled out as like, wait, now you are the reason for the... So that's what I have experienced all of that. And it's genuinely very, very alarming. And one thing I've seen is it's only the girls, because there's other girls. I'm not the only woman within this whole thing of commentating or talking or writing. I've seen it very common amongst the women, like I have friends who we've built this community on Twitter and we are commentators. We are known as the people who can put your music on, whatever. But they relate to having death threats. I've had death threats.
Dog,
like,
imagine.
People come into your DMs and
That's
tell you to
crazy,
shut the
dog.
fuck up. Like, oh, we're going to do something. So even last year, it was a group of like three boys.
Niggas.
Like, and they came shouting at me and they told me kapapa. and I'm always talking online, and they always seeing my tweets. And then I said to them, why don't you block me? I block people, by the way. If I feel like you are saying something or you're too much, go block her, or I'm gonna mute you. So for me, it was like, why don't you do that? And they just shouted at me, telling me that if I've got something bad to say about someone's music, I need to shut the fuck up. This specific person, I need to shut the fuck up. If I like it,
Who are
I
they
must
fighting
talk.
for? Who are they attacking you for?
Yeah.
Whose fans are these that are attacking
Uncultured, right?
our ladies in
And
the
what's
streets?
To
scary
be
about
honest, no, I don't want to say names because
yeah, it's just gonna make things
I'm just always harassed, like bang harasa. So I don't want to say names, but I just would like to say this. Please stop harassing me. It's very weird and it's uncomfortable for everyone because I don't know what the fuck. You probably don't know
You're
what the
just
fuck.
doing your job.
Yeah, so yeah.
What's scary about the whole thing is that like people who talk about this thing on Twitter, right, are expected to be outside.
Mhm.
They're expected to be at the events to show love and support.
Mhm.
So if this is going to be happening at the events, then obviously they're not going to show up.
Mm.
And you don't want journalists not showing up.
Yeah, because then
Think
how
about
do
it.
you write or speak
Yeah,
on
bro.
the event?
Yeah,
It's
because
dangerous.
the thing is, like, when I go to events, it's mostly for just to get like some
Yeah.
inspo, because you do get like writer's block, and I don't know what to write about. I don't know how to write about it. So sometimes when I go to these events, I'm watching all these people performing. Some of them it's my first time. I'm like, oh my word, who's
guy's
this? You
dope.
know, and I can get back the next day or the next few days and write something. So
Mm.
now, if you're making me uncomfortable at the show, then there's a
I'm not
chance
gonna
that
come, bro.
I'm not gonna want to even ever write on that artist. Like, a lot of them think they are bullying me or harassing me to conform, but in actual fact, they're turning me off.
Mm.
So sometimes, like, I just don't want to even, like, I don't want to listen to that person's music. I don't want to engage on
In
talking
anything
about
to
them,
do with
like,
them. Mm.
because okay, it's a very touchy subject. So rather ngiyeke mina for my own peace of mind and not talk about these people or even write about them, you know?
Mm.
So yeah, man. I mean, it's very crazy because even with Hype Mag, like, we get a lot of suggestions for covers.
Mhm.
And Baba suggest, and it's like, okay, the people you're suggesting or the person you're suggesting, they're quite hostile.
Mm.
So how are we gonna get them on the magazine? Because they're
Bane
hostile.
hostile nje.
Like, we want to, you
Yeah.
know, and now it's gonna look like Hype Mag does not want to put on specific people because there's personal. No, man, this is business. I don't have personal nicks. You know,
Oh, nothing's
they're like,
personal.
I'm not personal.
Everybody's
The
at
brand
work.
is just dangerous.
We at work, and
Mm.
about it doesn't matter, like, especially if you're a music magazine or hip hop magazine, there's certain expectations that the public has of you.
Mm.
You have to fulfill them. So sometimes kuba nzima ukufulfilla lama fantasy wenu. You guys want this one and that. It's hard because
Just call it fantasy.
no, honestly,
Yeah.
the reason I'm even saying it's a fantasy is because it might not even ever happen. Like,
Yeah.
it's so damn hard sometimes. So yeah, man.
All right, cool. So we got that. Niggas. It's the niggas, bro.
So you don't want to
Telling
touch
you.
on the Nike sports scene
You want
situation
to tap into that
at
bag?
all?
Let's get into
Because
it.
wasn't that really a thing and on the net?
And that was a Han, by the way. So do you want to get into it
you
or
don't want to.
no pressure?
I was there too. I was at
You
the
was
event.
shooting hoops.
It was good to see you, even though you didn't introduce yourself. I'm like, I see you snap the next day. I'm like, oh, this is the girl who was there. I'm like, what the hell?
It's to be honest, like, I I don't know what's going on, right? Like, I don't want to mention names because I don't want to agitate this person or these people.
Well, they actually got you scared then. They actually got through to you.
Shem, they won.
Yeah.
Like, straight up, you won. Like, you know, whatever you were trying to do, scare me or intimidate me, you won. Because it's very uncomfortable to go to an event and then you have to, like, you have to be on guard. Like, you have to be on guard.
it's
You have
not
to look
the
over
one.
your shoulder. Like, you know.
It's not the one.
And I'm just dealing with people who are very unpredictable. And since by unpredictable, Nami Inji, but all I'm gonna say is that camp is very hostile. Like, They are very, very hostile, and I don't know what's going on there, and I don't know why I became the target of whatever it is that's going on there. Because so like the engineer came for me and me alone. Mind you, people were calling him stupid, but he came for me and me alone. So ngabona lapho ukuthi ena man. And even the sports scene thing, it was the second time. So it's not the first time I'm being verbally attacked. It's the second time.
French, are you gonna help her to say what she's talking about here?
She doesn't wanna mention it.
He's surviving any guys.
But there's an entire audience now who's gonna watch everything you
So
just said and have no idea what you just said.
Okay, cool. So obviously she doesn't want to get like deep into it,
Of course,
mentioning
yeah.
whatever, but just context. Like, what is this camp? Basically, it's like it's RCR niggas, bro. So everyone who loves hip hop and is on the internet saw this. It's not even a secret. It's not like it was done on a group chat or on Twitter circles, bro. Like that screenshot of that story was flying even on Twitter. So Reese's manager, bruh, like personal whatever's, no one really knows what's going on, just like she says. But what we read was quite scary, bro, because she was addressing her as if we all knew what's going on. She was like, yo, I'm gonna speak about this for the first and the last time. You know, your girl Eats, pulled up on me on this other day and this and this. You understand what I'm saying? So that screenshot spoke about what had happened at that event, the Nike event, or at Sports Scene. So apparently there was another.
So you pulled up on her or she pulled up on you?
I don't even think so, bro. Like,
I've only talked to this person, like me approaching them once in my entire life. Every other interaction, it's been them coming to me and shouting at me.
So you've been shouted at a couple times.
Hence why I don't want to actually talk about this, because I feel like even ngoma namanje, I know, I think now I know for a fact that I'm still gonna get attacked. Like they still gonna come for me, and it just makes no sense. Like I'm confused. I'm as confused as
everybody reading it.
So you feel unsafe though?
I feel very unsafe because yeah, man. I just feel unsafe because like I said, in Cotton Fest, I was attacked by the same person. And then I've seen them around at other events 2 or 3 times, and it was fine. We stay out of each other's way, And then kulente sports scene nangumuntu, like I was shocked. Everybody was visibly shocked. And yeah, man, angazi, like honestly, name. All I'm gonna say is I do not know. I don't know. I'm confused. I'm as confused as everybody else. All I can say is that, like, I meant nothing malicious whenever I mentioned them, even whether it was critique or not. I was never trying to be malicious, but I guess it's been received like that. So now I am the public enemy number 1. And kuthiwa mina, I want people's lives or people's mans or whatever. Like, angifuni muntu mina. Angifuni impilo yomuntu. Angifuni umuntu kamuntu, nginomuntu wami.
Is that the chat?
So, dude, there was a lot of shit. Yo, there was a lot of stuff they were saying about me. Even things that I realized.
But that's weird. But anyway.
Yeah, there was things that I was even like, wait, I did this. Hiwo. Yeah, well, like I was even shocked of hearing stuff about myself that it's my first time hearing that. I did this. And I only stopped talking about them because I realized I am now being targeted by them, And there's a lot of people who say a lot of vile things online about them. I see them myself. But it's quite strange as to why I'm being singled out. Like that's, I think out of everything, that's what people need to maybe think about. Why am I being singled out? Yeah.
So to round that off, just as a young witness there, just to wrap it up nicely on that point, bro. Coming up 2020, it was rough, like I said, dog. There were a lot of artists that we were so excited to discover, speak about. But amongst those artists were some of our favorite artists themselves. And Reese was one of them, bro. Like we would sleep at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., just thinking about hashtags. Yo, dude, it's been a minute since he trended. He just lost his dad. Let's keep his name.
Yeah, you guys are like thoroughbred slums, ne?
Dog, like we been,
Well,
bro.
used to be.
And we're doing this out of like, it was so fun, dog. It's not like with anything else to do. It was COVID, it was lockdown. We love this stuff. And at that time, he had lost his dad. He wasn't on Twitter, you know. People didn't really like know where he was. So we were just trying to stay there. Like, yo, let's make him trend today. Let's talk about him. To like, she was one of the ones who were out there.
There was a week where he trended
The
like for a whole week.
week.
It was
And he didn't
us.
tweet anything. It was work.
Oh, these
Busy.
niggas were the ones.
So not only us, I mean, you're seeing the two of us, but
Nah.
there's
Yeah, of
more.
course. Yeah.
So that whole community that you interact with, that kind of also interacts with us. Some of them, like there's a whole, I could say a group of like more than 20.
Yeah, bro.
Where we were really invested.
Dog, we're
we
going
just
hard,
wanted,
bruh.
like, you know, when you, with every artist, that's how we are.
Yeah.
Like, if we feel like you're dope, but you're being underrated,
Dog.
slept on, whatever,
Go hard,
we're
bro.
gonna just go hard and talk about you, put you out there. I mean, he told you about Lo-Fi and La Cabra, but like I'm the one who actually discovered them last year. So those Janes, like, I kept like force feeding them to people because I'm like, they got something going on, you know?
And they fire
They
too.
really fire, yeah.
fire.
So that's what we basically do, man. And I mean, what's currently happening, I could say that it's every fan's biggest nightmare is you will be so supportive of an artist, and then the first few times you meet them, it's fights. It's people shouting at you, you know,
There's
like
no reciprocation of
how
the love.
now like you know, like every time, Jay. So it's at least for me, one thing I had to try and like work out is that there'll be artists that we're gonna talk about, we're gonna put on whatever you call it, but they might come back and just shit on you, like straight up shit on you, like for no reason, unprovoked, not you because you did something, or just shit on you straight up because they can, you know, and you have no control over that. You just gotta keep doing it.
Yeah. So,
We'll figure it
yo,
out.
it's
Round us up.
she done been doing the thing. So yeah, as I was saying, bro, like that's why she's saying she doesn't know. It's because she knows how what she been doing out of love and whatever. But anyway,
We'll fix
so
the
just
system,
honorable
guys. It's fine.
mentions. Yeah. So on the event side, bro, shout out to MT. That show.
Went
He
up
did well.
apparently.
I know he did
I missed
well.
it.
Six.
I missed that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to
That was
MT.
fire.
And I think that was his
you
first
go there?
like show.
No, I didn't go. I wanted to go, but I saw the videos and stuff, like, and people who went there, they had fun.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that
no,
too.
it was dope.
That was
Yeah.
dope.
I heard it was like one of his first like shows.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So that was
It
so
was, yeah,
dope.
it was.
Shout out to him for actually finally doing that. Hopefully, you know, the streets get more.
Shout out to Big Hustle.
Shout out to Big Hustle. We already spoke about Foca. Shout out to the
Shout out to Folk.
President Estrada, you know.
Yes.
25K loyal to the plug. I think details are on his Instagram, his social media platform. Just go buy tickets, you know, support them homies doing their own shows, their
Yes.
tours. This is what we've always been asking for, and it's
Yeah.
finally happening. So
That's also a part of the community.
yeah,
by
that's
the
part
way.
of the community,
Yeah.
right? So let's go and do that.
For
and
us to all attend these
there we
things.
go.
Mm.
Very important point. Not just the fans, but if you're an artist watching this, dog, if you're not
Yeah,
doing anything on
let's
that
pull
day,
up at
bro,
niggas' shows,
pull up at
but-
25K show and just show love. You know what I mean? Maklera is doing something in his hometown in November. I spoke to him.
We're taking the drive.
Yeah, man. Like,
Taking
if
the
you guys can
Larry, we coming.
pull up,
Yeah,
pull through.
018,
You
we're
know,
going there.
he's done a
God.
lot, even like for hip hop over the past 24 months.
Yeah, this year or last year or from last year. Is
Yo,
this run
bro,
from
like,
last year?
From last year.
From last year,
Yo,
yeah. Yeah.
Dog, he's been, bro. So when
Yeah,
he's
it's-
doing something like that,
It's on fire.
if you can, please show
We need
love,
to
bro.
show up.
Yeah,
We should.
the African Throne Tour. So remember, Nasty and Casper are coming back to the country later in, I think it's later this month or later in October. They're gonna be, you know, having the South African leg of that tour. So I think tickets are
What
on
are they
sale.
doing? All the cities or
I think I saw Cape Town, Johannesburg. I'm not sure about Durban.
Durban is still blacklisted, ne?
I'm not sure about Durban, but I'm
Durban.
pretty sure it's gonna.
Durban has two, son.
Yeah,
Ish.
ish, bro. So
Sensitive.
So please get your tickets for that. Rocking the Mbalis, all right. Rocking the Daisies. That's like next month, October. If you're in Cape Town, you're watching this right now, please get your tickets for that. J Smash is having Smashville. on the 22nd of this month. It's hosted by yours truly, French Fry, the New Wave Architect. Make sure you pull up and buy those tickets, nigga.
Okay,
I'm
fine.
adding Bhuda T on the lineup, by the way. I'm just playing. All right, cool. So that's gonna be in Bram. If you're gonna be in Bram doing nothing, big shout out to you. I know you're gonna pull up. And then not Benjamin, bro. He's had the
Yes.
underground thing, and this time he's partnering with the niggas from Pretoria, ne?
Yes, escaping the
Escaping the
city.
city.
So they're
Yeah.
having it at African Beer Emporium, which is where Tshwane Fontaine was hosted and stuff.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, man, I think if we're going to talk about events, we really need to talk about Not Benjamin and what he's done with the underground and the street fest and the treetop brand. So,
Oh, damn.
yeah, man, Not Benjamin, like, I think he's just one of those guys that we need to constantly bring into the conversation of community because that's what he's doing. You know, like he puts a lot of artists on for the first time. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
even said this, like, I've lost count how many times artists have performed and said, yo, this is my first time on stage ever.
Dog.
That's
crazy.
fire.
And they on that stage because of Not Benjamin. So he's really doing a lot. Like he,
So
he
he must be
deserves
a
a little bit.
minister of sorts in the
he-
community.
Yeah, he needs to be protected.
Genuinely, like he needs more support. He needs like all the support because he's trying his best to curate a purely South African hip hop experience.
Yep.
You know, because you were
Fire.
saying that we don't have a lot of those. He hosts these things once a month, once every 2 months, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a consistent thing. And now, even with Escaping the City, they are from Pretoria.
Yeah.
Not Benjamin is in Joburg.
And they're
So Escaping the
collaborating.
City, they also host the same thing every month there in Pretoria,
Okay.
which is a purely hip hop experience with a bit of R&B. And now they're
Fire.
coming together for this weekend. So yeah,
Is
you
that
guys
this
must go
weekend?
check it out. Yeah,
I
this
gotta
coming
go,
weekend.
yeah.
Speaking on
Fire.
on Not Benjamin, shout out to Back to the City. They actually gave him his
His own stage.
Fire.
stage to rock.
I saw that.
And
Like,
you understand, like
That's fire.
for you to get your own stage.
Yo, that
on
means
Back
you're
to the
doing
City,
something.
You are doing the most.
yeah,
And that's
then
what the community is supposed to
that's
do.
what's
Shout out
supposed
to
to
Back to the
Shout
City
out to
for
Rashid K,
giving
man.
that
And
recognition.
you know what's
Shout out
crazy is
to-
like it's a full
to the
circle
niggas.
moment because last year Back to the City and Street Fest were on the
Same
same
day.
day.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And I passed Back to the City and then I went to Street Fest because I fuck with Street Fest, you
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I've always been
I still haven't
big
been to
supporter.
one. I
You
gotta.
need to go. Like I'm still like a very big supporter of Benjamin. Anything he does, I'm
Yeah.
a very big supporter of him.
So
So yeah.
before you say now we hate you niggas, no, I haven't forgotten. Reese Effect, Durban. If you're in Durban,
That's
go out there.
what this weekend.
This
also?
weekend, yeah.
Fire.
Durban. Go rock with
That
Reese
looks like it's
Effect.
gonna be crazy because with some yam out
Yeah, we
there
got Blackie, DJ D Double D, J Jody, you know, pull up,
doing their
do the
thing.
most. All right, and then let's wrap it up like this. Big shout out to Tyson Sabatelli,
Hell
Cybertelli. And
Hell
the
yeah.
sobering part for that fire ass mixtape. Uber Eats.
Yo, my mom and my sister are tired of hearing Tyson.
Of that present.
of that phrase.
It's on my
I've
everyday
abused
shit.
it. I've abused
It's
that.
on my
I have
everyday.
abused that mixtape. I think it's probably,
Hell
I have
yeah.
to check my stats. It's probably up there because ngilalela ngazi ngathi kuyenzakalani.
Nah, that nigga did his
like
thing.
no,
Did his
it's
thing.
good. It's very, very good. That's
Really
like a
refreshing.
Yeah.
Also.
Hip hop.
Yeah.
We already spoke about Nasty C. I love it here. If you've not checked it out, please make sure you do check out that drop.
Album of the year or what?
It's in that conversation. So we're gonna
We're
see
gonna
how
come
that
back
happens.
for those
we're gonna come back
convos,
for
yeah.
those chats. Yeah. Solomon by Mufasa, Casper Nyavez dropped as well on the same day.
Yeah.
Please make sure you do check that out. That's the OG level.
Yes,
Timothy,
Sersky.
when is that dropping, dog?
Let
I
the
saw
boy
you tweeted
cook.
something about
No, I'm done now.
you done.
Yeah, I'm done now.
Are you done?
I just need to submit mixing and
And do the right
mastering,
thing.
and
All right.
I'm still actually trying to decide if you guys really honestly deserve me. Like, to be honest.
yo.
To be
I
honest.
think you should take your time.
Yeah.
Take your
Aight.
time. Like take
I mean,
your
I've
time.
had 2 years off. I can do whatever I like.
yeah.
Mm,
Take your time.
mm.
And I've given myself a whole nother job also.
Yeah, and you're doing the
So-
most, building community.
You feel me?
Toxic Masculinity, J Smash. So that drops on the 28th of this month.
Is it not
Right.
toxic perfection?
Oh, damn. Toxic Masculinity.
Because I was
What
going to
the
ask, who type
Toxic
he
Perfection.
named his project.
Sorry,
that.
sorry, it's TP.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jay. Sorry, bro. Yo, that's wild, bro. How did that
Toxic what?
toxic perfection or
Mara
something?
vele toxic masculinity besikhuluma ngayo. Maybe it makes sense.
Oh, it's
It's
creeping
stuck in
in,
my
yeah?
head.
It's in there.
Toxic Perfection, something like that. TP, right? So that's
Yes,
dropping on the
TP is
28th,
coming.
ne?
Shout out to
Come
Jay
on,
Smash.
Shout out to
hard.
Jay Smash.
He's
So,
a hard worker.
Hard.
yeah,
Like,
he's got that
respect him.
record with
cover
Questa.
arts.
Yeah, fire.
Youngster, Flo, and Tato. Obviously, he's got the one with Amanda Black and MT. And the features on that album are looking fire, bruh. They sounding fire. They Saudi on it, Zucci on it. It's like,
The Saudi's in his bag.
bro. So please make sure you do check that out. Una Rams also dropped some fire. I don't know
Shout
if you
out
checked
to
that out.
Una.
SOS, yes.
SOS.
Oh, that song was so good.
Yeah.
Oh, my
And then
word.
Young Swiss came back, bro.
Oh,
Sweet
yeah?
nostalgia, yeah, bro. You
That's
need to
exciting.
check that.
That's dope.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, that's how
Shout
I want
out
to
to
round
Young
it off,
Swiss.
bruh. Damn, this
Great
been one
work,
hell of a
Frenchie.
chop, my
That's
niggers.
a
What's
nice
good, man?
roundup there.
Ah, dog, we had to do that, man. Like, yo,
Lovely work.
I
Thank
felt as
you.
if it was gonna be
Thank you
dramatic,
for
but shout
having
outs to
me.
Eats, man.
Thank you to
Nkalani.
Eats for
Kept
having
the ladies.
us. Well, for joining us.
Maybe 10.
Ningam Eddie,
Ning
Bafit.
Choppin.
Sing chop, yo, and chopping it.
Must chop you on chopping it, please.
Culture chop with the Lord of the entire Himity the boy. We out of here.
Is there skit? Shout out. Damn. At least it wasn't too dramatic. I didn't say that album was whack.
Which one?
Solomon. They thought I was gonna say Solomon was whack.
Ayo.